Well, are you ready to experience an experience unlike any other? Because you got yourselves on division rivalry stuff? No, it ain't the NFC South this time. Because, well, do you really want to know what happens when you don't embrace mediocrity? It tends to not go well for anyone. That's why you need to embrace it. In fact, we got ourselves a mediocre team this year, going up against a team that has kinda had some issues, but who knows at this point how they're gonna fare. But no matter, you want some exciting experiences? Is that what you want? Then you come to the right place. Because our experience is nothing like anything else we've had before. Do you want to know why? And that's because it's time for some division rivalry NFC North style. Oh, enough of that little voice thing. And it's basically finally a regular Sunday game after so long. Well, I say that. But I did finally decide on a Thanksgiving game, and I decided to go with the primetime one that is Bengals Ravens. That one will have division implications at some point. But first off, we need to talk about this game here as the Minnesota Vikings will be making their return. The last time they were on here, they had lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers over in Dublin, Ireland. I hate to be the team after that, but they have made some progress here and there. A little bit. They managed to get their way to 4-6. Not the best record they could have gotten, but this is about what I expected for the Vikings. This was because there was too much uncertainty with JJ McCarthy and Carson Wentz. Not necessarily that good of an option. So I kind of had regression as expected. So 4-6, pretty mediocre. Justin Jefferson and a few others have pretty much been one of those kinds of players to keep this team in the hunt a little bit. But if they want to get their way up to 500 and even a little past, they must first take on the Green Bay Packers, who have had a stronger start, but also kind of tinkered off a little bit lately. Losing to teams like the Panthers will do that to you. But this is the first game we're covering that has actual playoff implications. Not in terms of who actually takes the lead in a spot. Nobody's going to take a lead in a spot on the Vikings' end. But I'm talking about in terms of eliminations. Because what's going to be going on at the exact same time? The Seattle Seahawks versus the Tennessee Titans. And the New York Giants versus the Detroit Lions. If the Giants lose to the Lions, and they most likely will, both the Vikings and the Seahawks have first dibs on the fate of the Giants. Because Seahawks are going to get an easy job against the Titans. But if they somehow mess things up, the Vikings can swoop in. If they somehow mess things up, the Cowboys can swoop in later today. Only one of those three teams actually need to win for the Giants to be the first team ever eliminated this season. You heard that right. It's the Giants who are first on the chopping block, not the Titans. Crazy, isn't it? So that's what we're looking at. It's gonna come down to which games end first. Will this game end before the Seahawks? Or will the Seahawks strike first and make this game meaningless? Either way, we are at the point of the season where these games are gonna matter. And they are going to matter. Trust me. They are, in fact, going to matter. Sorry, Mom, but I'm not exactly in a kind of mood for M&M's right now. Thanks for the offer, though. But because of the channel that it's going to be on, I am going to have to use my iPad over here. It's been a while since I've had to do so, actually. And I won't have to... hold up. Here, hold on. Sorry about that. Had some... Had a phone call come up. And I'd rather not have those phone calls pop up on the stream. You never know if a family relative calls and they say your name. And the last thing you, especially if the last thing anybody is wanting is for somebody to know your name. I believe they're saying the game's about to be live. It should be. I do need to turn it up though, so I can at least hear it. So, good news everywhere! Hooray! I'm gonna full screen that though, so I can get the biggest picture possible on this iPad. I usually make sure that my mic is as far away from the audio source as possible, so that way it doesn't pick up the audio. And I also try to make sure to keep the volume at a reasonable spot. So that probably helps a little bit too. Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. Yeah. Oh, of course. That's right. They're already. Everybody's running advertisements for Christmas. Forgot about that. Nobody wanted to wait for Thanksgiving to come and go. They wanted to start selling stuff. They wanted to start selling stuff right now. Corporate greed ruins everything. Shoot, they were playing Christmas stuff as early as last month before Halloween could pass. So there are actually some missing players for the Packers. They're going to be missing Golden, Walker, and Jacobs to injury. And the Vikings are missing Greenard with a shoulder. But it will be the Vikings receiving the ball to kick off the game. It just changed the kickoff, and apparently it's not going to last long. Whoop-dee-doo. And now we're going to see J.J. McCarthy this time as the starter, as opposed to Carson Wentz. Also in big news, Aaron Rodgers is actually not playing, which means Mason Rudolph, the deer in headlights, will be making a start today for the Steelers. And Shedeur Sanders will be getting his first official start as a rookie. All because of concussion stuff. Concussions, concussions, concussions. How lovely. It always comes back to those goddamn concussions. You always hate them, don't you? But first and 10 for the Vikings, as this is going to be a handoff. I'm pretty much lucky the key players that are supposed to be playing today are healthy enough to go. And I did have to switch some things around to help. Another run on 2nd and 7. This time he's going to get across midfield. Well, so the running game for the Vikings is off to a good start. And that's probably going to be the main emphasis for right now. You might see some passing here and there on occasion. But it looks like the main thing they're looking at right now is running the ball constantly. And here's the first passing play of the game for McCarthy. And that was to Justin Jefferson, who has been one of the key playmakers on this team. You have Justin Jefferson, you're almost guaranteed to have a decent game in fantasy. Not an outstanding game, but at least a decent game. McCarthy is throwing it. Micah Parsons managed to show up on the pass rush. Imagine if Dallas decided to keep him. and actually pay him the money. But don't tell Jerry Jones in his mind he won the trade. And that is, well, not good. Packers were all over that play. All over it. All over it. So now it's 3rd and 10. McCarthy throws it. Another pass that is incomplete. That's going to be a 3 and out. Who knew that McCarthy gonna do that well? And now, Reichard lined up for a 52-yard attempt. The Vikings on the board. They strike first with a field goal. So, despite how quick that drive went, they managed to do something. But remember, they're playing in Lambeau. You can't afford to have you can't have that many, you can't have all that many mistakes in Lambeau. Them's the rules. Trying to I didn't think about having to make it empty it all out point before the game. But that's my own fault. Let's at least see the opening drive for the Packers before I decide to make a sore break. Then I'll try to catch up afterwards. I can always pull up regular ESPN and website to see what happens if I need to see what happens. And on the latest. Let's at least watch through this drive for the Packers. So that way, I'm not looking like an absolute idiot. If that makes any sense. And we're going to actually see a return. You almost have the room. So here comes the Packers offense. Sorry. As Jordan Love is going to come out. He's been around here before. There have been times during the season where Malik Willis had to come in and play relief and didn't do that bad of a job. They try to go with the running game on first down. And that doesn't go far. In fact, it doesn't even go anywhere. Second and 10, pass to Scott. Who's that? Not sure. I'm thinking that might have been Dobbs. Or Dobbs. But they always pick the worst angles after the play. They always like showing replays of, oh my god, look at this, look at this, look at this generic routine first down. Yeah, I think we almost had some penalty flags. As that is Christian Watson who holds it in. Oh, they show the numbers. So I probably missed it. That was oh yeah, that was a high snap. Packers have been advancing a little bit. They go with the run game again. They actually gained a good bit of yards this time. Love on 2nd and 6. Throws it deep. Incomplete. And there is a penalty flag. Think they're going to call pass interference. Yeah, pass interference. So that's a fresh set of downs for the Packers. And they're gonna try to close in. They're gonna want more than a field goal. And they say once again, start off with a run game. Oh yeah, I forgot. Forgot about that. Manuel Wilson is on my team. I forgot I had to add a running back to serve as relief. As like a flex. Forgot about that. But they are right there at 1st and goal. Regardless. Straight ahead. And they push it into the end zone. Touchdown, Emmanuel Wilson. That'll definitely benefit my fantasy league. First score of the game's a rushing touchdown. Extra point is down the middle. So we've gotten to see both fitting drops. Yeah, I can't really exactly hold it in. I'll still keep track while I'm away, so don't think I'm not missing out. Don't think I'm missing out on anything. I'll be keeping track. I'll just be back. Okay, so I actually didn't miss much. I didn't miss much at all. Which is good for me. always good for me. The only thing I need to worry about is updating this. The Sabres have a lead over the Hurricanes? Seriously? I need to change my shirt anyway. It's a first. And I got things. Well, Mom, I actually am right now because it's Vikings Packers. It's already going. It's been going for a bit. Alright, Mom. This is the currently in the middle of things. Oof. Oh, that is a bad play there. That's just gonna be like a sack. Do you think he was stepped on? That what the call is? Oh, oh boy. He got stepped on right on the snap. Jeez. Did not expect that to occur. 2nd and 13, they just go for the run game. And apparently, word's coming out, Florida State is keeping Mike Norvell. How wonderful. That's why you suck, Florida State. And that is not a good play to run. Not a good play to be running there. And there's a punt. Wow. That is a punt. Green Bay is gonna be the Packers are gonna be backed up towards their own one. They have to go the literal length of the field. Crazy, ain't it? Just no unexpected. Just crazy to think. Just crazy. Some of the crazy stuff. Here's then they just cut right back during all that. Well, they're not at risk of safety. Oh yeah, they're gonna showcase the highlight of famous Jameis throwing a dart into the end zone for Wandale Robinson. Did not expect that. Definitely did not expect that. But it's now 3rd and 1 for the Packers. It's a handoff. Good for the first. Down close to the 20. There have been all kinds of things that have gone on. First down. That pass is deflected. Try to go for the quick one, and it was deflected. Just straight up deflected. So now it's 2nd down. Love throws it. Broken up. The Vikings defense has been doing things. And oh my, that is some. Oh, that play ended up actually turning into a first down for the Packers. For Wicks. And keep in mind, both sides have managed to get points on the board, just different ways. So it's not like there hasn't been any offense. There certainly have been. You just don't expect many crazy plays out of a sport like this. saw people saying sports athletes are entertainers. They're there to entertain. But then how do you explain the wild results? But there's the penalty flag. False start. Sway booth. Like, football players are supposed to be athletes. It's the league that they play in that tries to be very oriented toward entertainment. But you want to know what goes into entertainment? Being flashy. And doing things in style. Everything comes down. But without any fundamentals, there's no entertainment to be had. Absolutely nothing. You're better off just expecting regular old football. There's going to be a sack on defense. Has been the name of the game. And for a good chunk of this quarter. He just didn't have the time. So now Whelan is going to be delivering a punt. And here's the return. And there is a minute left in the quarter. So whatever commercial break they're doing right now, be off or not, they'll go back in after a minute of football. Keep thinking this season has been all over the place. They keep doing all these ads to the Buffaloes with literal wings on them. And that's the end they're going with for Dick's Sporting Goods. Seriously? That? That was not a good act. Both have scored on their first drive. They both have punted on their second drive. McCarthy on first down. He throws it. Thinking it was caught by Jefferson. Yeah, they're giving it to him. It was like literally right there. Oh, well, I'm starting to wonder if it's easy for me to get bored of things like this, if I'm yawning as much as I am. I ain't got time to figure that out, as we do have an injury at the sidelines. Oh, friendly fire. It's right. Uh, nobody likes friendly fire. Nobody. Second short. It's close to the marker. Don't give it to him. And that should take it to the end of the quarter. 15 minutes of the game has already gone by just like that. Like, no, I guess they're going to try to run one more play? Really? You know you got plenty of time. You can just let it just go ahead and let it run the end of the quarter. Instead of running a play here. Yeah, there was no point in running a play there. They'll just head to the second quarter. I don't know what the Vikings were trying to think of running there. Mm. Yes, right. Jeez. They just love shoving the ass down. Oh, now they cut back. Yeah, of course, with it being a division match, they're gonna play very close against each other like this. As we're in the second quarter. And there's a breakout into the Packer territory. It was taken out inside the 40, jeez. Just been some crazy stuff that's going on. And it's a first down for the Vikings. This has been crazy. They just haven't given me anything. playing his run. Tried to run some trickery stuff. McCarthy didn't even have to do anything. But it's still short. Tush push with Hawkinson. And taking the snap. That failed miserably. And they're gonna go for it on 4th down. It's a handoff. He can't even get close. The Vikings play calling, everyone. The Vikings play calling. Can you believe that? Just what is with these ads? Oh yeah, something I should mention. Dear God, the Solar Bears have been off to a horrible start. They have the worst record in all of hockey with a 1-11 start, currently on a 10-game losing streak. And they have yet to play a single game in overtime. How do you pull that off? So, Packers will take over now. Running game. That running game gets them a first. Hold up. Find out what in the absolute hell is going on with Ravens Jets. Second three. But seriously, it's been scoreless. And we got an injury on the field for the Vikings. What is with friendly fire? Nope. Is anybody in Jazz Ravens going to score? Jeez. I don't get what's going on with Ravens Jets. It's been scoreless. No, I don't care about your subscription for enough Fox Nation stuff. I want to watch whatever I want to. Well, we're back from the halftime out, but it's the first. They just got the first down. The Packers did. You're saying Raymond being mid happened? That doesn't sound right at all. Hold up, I think I need to refresh something here. There we go. It was stuck on the same game for a bit. Now it's good. Don't notice that until now, but yeah, seriously, it's scoreless. What the heck's going on? I don't get it. Third and 1. They get the first. Also, they're now in Viking territory. So that's actually scored. Jesus. And we got our first timeout of the half used by the Packers. Well, here's the next run game on 1st and 10. Just lunge through to get it. And time winds down for the first half. There's a wide open man into the red zone. Look at that, Dobbs. Second and 10. Well, jeez. Giants really don't want to be eliminated. That was right there. But they are gonna have to settle for a field goal here. They just had another incompletion. And timeout called. Or not. Somebody. It's a 12-man penalty. Yep. That is confusing. First timeout called by Minnesota. They finally got it straightened out. There's the field goal. He's just checking on a little something. Maybe while it's halftime. They're just briefly back for a bit. Yeah, there have definitely been some moments in this little divisional rivalry. I mean, oh great, that means they're about to go back on commercial break again. Two timeouts left for each side. We're in a half. And now be the play that sends it to the 2-minute warning. I just needed something to help me out a little bit. I was a little hungry. Man, every time I end up with a can, that would make a big mess over their litter. And I need to switch out some things. See, I'm doing this switch thing off camera that you can't see. That's the part of it. As long as I do this off camera, you can't see what I'm doing. Nothing changed. I know. But it was something I needed to do for something. Don't worry. We're still going to cover this game. So, 2 minutes or less than that. They did run a play, but they do get the first. They're looking to just get a field goal to end the half. But the Packers do get the ball to kick off the second half. Oh my goodness, Justin Jefferson. Oh, Lamar's finally doing a little more. It's good to know. An incomplete pass there. I think they both had 2 timeouts left. Once they started using them now. Oh, nobody's using their timeouts right now. Second and 10. They're in field goal range. McCarthy taking out field goal range in a sack. That's probably going to force a timeout usage. Of course, they don't let me see the graphic on who called the timeout unless I listen in. Surprisingly, it wasn't Micah Parsons. But timeout was used. I bet to you the Vikings are trying to save their final timeout for when they're back in field goal range. Maybe. McCarthy throws it. God, they get back in. And I think this is where they're just going to take the field goal. And the Packers are the ones that call their second timeout. So that'll give them that'll give them time to run another play. If they wanted to. But it's 4th down. Do they really want to go for it here? I honestly don't think they should. Just take the points, go in the half. That'd be the smart thing to do. And down the middle. 10 seconds on the clock. He managed to nail it. So we'll still get a kickoff and maybe a knee. So they'll probably just knee it in the half. Yep, that's how they're gonna end the half. It'll be halftime. That's why I didn't update the thing there. But we are just going to take the halftime right here. As I'm gonna be back in a bit. don't know if I managed to make it through the entirety of the halftime. I guess I did. But it is about to be the third quarter anyway. So it's Packers who get the ball this time. They already had their kickoff and everything. They already ran a play too. Running, and he's just running in himself, and Love gets the first. See, singing along. And that is a punt. Is that a live ball? It's Packers football! So now the Packers retain the ball. And this is a handoff. It's going to be short of the end zone. Second and goal. Handoff. He reaches. They give it to him. Touchdown, Emmanuel Wilson. No, wrong one. There it is. Another touchdown. That's his second. A 1-yarder again. You know, it's funny this sequence happened during Crisis City. It's now 17-6 for the Vikings. As they end up trailing. After that wild sequence. You want to know what kind of wild sequence that was? I'll tell you what kind of wild sequence that was. You fucked the ball.
You blew it!
Way to go, Vikings. Way to go. This is definitely making up for the Lamar Jackson not doing well part. Wow. I'm glad I made the choice I did. It's just crazy. always remind Chicago that he owns them. Oh yeah, this thing. Just this is some crazy stuff. Well, hold on, what just happened? Joe Flacco just threw a pick six? Wow. Okay, it's safely in the Vikings' hands right now. Well, that just became a sack. There have been some crazy things that have occurred lately. It's just, they're crazy. Oh, it is gonna go for the punt. And that's another great punt for him. Never thought this would I would see stuff like this occur. Just can't believe all the craziness that's been going on. There've been all kinds of things that have gone on. Maybe I should have started Daniel Jones instead, but whatever. And we're seeing first time out of the half. Just to try to avoid a delay of game penalty. So it's now 3rd and 5 for the Packers. They're backed up to their own 13. Love throws it. It's caught. Christian Watson able to hold on for the first. Just hasn't been easy. I'm sure. That one was close. That one was close, but they seem to catch for Watson again. They're just gonna try to run a no-huddle offense. Nobody initiates review. And they run the play. Love just runs himself against view. And nobody rang in, so they made the right call. And there's a player for the Vikings that was slow to get up. They might be his left leg. So now Lamar is doing things. But it was against 3 on that. Second with the run. be short. That's why his sleeve came off. And all this stuff before they could even get a chance. Get back to the line. So that's gonna force the punt unit out. Up and away. Fair catch. They're during a thing. Hard Knocks in season with NFC East. Right. There's been a little bit of turnover stuff with quarterbacks for the Vikings. A little bit. Second and 11. McCarthy is just gonna be sacked. Yep, he's there. It's Micah Parsons. I wonder if anybody is regretting it now. Especially, but no worries. At least in Jerry's mind, he's won the trade. And that is another disastrous play that almost went into the end zone. That's gonna force a punt. Florida Vikings. Dude was almost taken down in the end zone. But this will go on to be a punt. The return is gonna be stopped at around the Packer 45. That was a disastrous series of plays for the Vikings. Nearly gave up a safety. Yes. There's just been all kinds of things falling apart. There's just been all kinds of things falling apart for the Vikings. Oh, there's yourself a run. To kick off the new drive for the Packers. They don't really have to go all that far. Another handoff play. Still a little bit of yardage gain. Man. Packers just came in with a game plan. They've been executing it. I know that Dawes has been suffering from not getting enough up of the ball. But that's just more so about the game plan. But that is the end of the quarter. We got one more left to go. And what has been a pretty average game, I'll say. It's been pretty average. Which doesn't mean it's been a bad game. There has been worse. Certainly has been worse. $30-10 lead for the Seahawks. Okay, they're actually back after endless commercials again, but here we go for the fourth quarter. There have been all sorts of things that went on. Yeah, all this portion of the drive is burning clock. A career high 106 rushing yards for Wilson. He's gotten 2 touchdowns today. Not a single touchdown has been given to a wide receiver. 3rd and 3. Another handoff. He's stopped. So that'll force field goal unit out. It's a 30-yarder for McManus. Now's the chip shot. Just been pretty average. I do need to keep track of some of the other games too. See what's going on. See, Bears have a lead. 24-21. Patriots have a lead. 17-13. Lions on the verge of scoring again. Colts lead Chiefs 20-9. Ravens lead Jets 17-10. So this game is the closest to ending so far. Good to know. So here's the kickoff return here. Still on his feet, finally down right about the 20. Yeah, that. Yeah, the Vikings just haven't had any answers at this point. Oh, brother, Jared. Don't let the Giants randomly ruin their tank. You're better than that, Jared. And we got penalty flags. Been a while since we've seen some, believe it or not. And it's a false start. There's severe air outages going on. And they're happening more frequently. But here's 2nd and 17. There, this just dropped. I hate to be the one that have to want that. I have to be the one to not do a good job at it. And that's a lot of the time for some of these players. 3rd and 17. Managed to escape one. He can't escape the other. He is just gonna be sacked. They're wanting safety. But I think it'll just be a regular 4th down. McCarthy escaped one, but he couldn't escape the other. Just nowhere for him to even try to get away from. So Packers manage to get the football back. You get the B! Got the B! You definitely get a B, Green Bay! Okay, that was really just a mistake. This has been and just a falling apart party for the Vikings. It's looking increasingly like they won't be the ones eliminating the Giants. Nor do the Giants feel like waiting to be eliminated this week. And more running goodness. Of making use of everything for the Packers. And keep in mind, there hasn't been a single touchdown thrown to a receiver this game. It's been all about that running game, which has been very effective. And here comes penalty flags. False start. Yep, that'll definitely hurt you a little bit. Apparently Will Campbell is being carted to the locker room with a towel over probably his face or something. Negative 22 yards this half for the Vikings. Negative 22. You know how hard that is to pull off? You know how hard that is? You have to completely fall apart on offense to even let that happen. And that's what's been going on with the Vikings. And that's what it is. Second and long. That was a catch for Christian Watson. That is just craziness. Hand off on 3rd and 3. It's gonna be stopped. And again, he'll be short. So it forces out. Field goal unit. On a 4th and 2. Once again, McManus is being called out to make a 40-yarder down the middle. That's all they've been able to pour on as of late. Field goals. At least McMahon has been improving. Back to his old form. But yeah, this game's been getting is pretty much getting out of reach for the Vikings. They need a major splash this next drive and try to start a comeback. Because if they don't, they're gonna lose. We'll see if the Vikings can do anything. Look, another overrated Call of Duty game. I am incredibly shocked that they're advertising itself as the best Call of Duty yet. For who knows how many years in a row. It's certainly a masterpiece of its own league. Yay! For the record, Call of Duty's been going downhill for a long while. I don't even know if they even updated their server security. Just hard to tell. But yes, I know Eagles Cowboys is coming up next. And he'll take the Vikings just gonna take the touchback. The Vikings needed this game to give themselves a shot to get back into the race. They just haven't had any answers. Of course, they're talking about Reggie White. Who else would they be talking about? And got accepted! That is a quick one and done for the Vikings. And that may have sealed the game right there. Yeah, that may have just sealed the game right there. And once again, hey JJ, you fucked about.
You blew it!
You absolutely did. Just crazy to think. And that's the second time out call by the Packers. Though I don't think they have to worry too much. They've been in control the entire game pretty much. Third and 9. Love throws it. Incomplete. It just got broke up. So the Vikings will not be the team that gets to end any playoff hopes. But the Lions still have to win against the Giants for anybody to do so. That's the problem there. So here goes the punt. But you need some absolute craziness to occur in order for an actual comeback to happen, but it's most likely not happening. The eyes are going to be on Giants, Lions, and Seahawks, Titans right now. This game has gone by rather quickly, if you can believe it. And this is only the second game in the division the Packers have played all season. 4 of their remaining games are going to be within the division. No, Packers won't like that at the Bears are leading the Steelers by 10. No, they won't. And they still got to play them twice. McCarthy on first down scrambles, runs himself, gets to the first down marker. Bit winded from that. Or they get the ball out in time for Hawkinson. Or just hoping to try to cover the spread a little bit. If that makes sense. Yeah, why not just cover the spread a little bit? And he's intercepted again! JJ throws another one! Way to go, man! You did it again! You just excavated it all over again!
You blew it!
You really blew it this time, boy! You really fucked the ball! You really fucked it good! That was an embarrassing way to go out. If you can believe it. And here comes Malik Willis. They already ran one play with him. But he is officially in with the game out of reach for these final 3 minutes. Those 3 turnovers really made a difference at times. Now all the Packers have to do is just run the clock out. That's it. That's all they gotta do is run the clock. And this is gonna be the first game of the early afternoon slate to come to an end. That's it. And they got the 2-minute warning. The game was so over, they decided to put in Willis. Oh, this is gonna be one of the first 2 to end. Then, guess. Ravens Jets has been a mess. There, they kind of ran. just been very not good for the Vikings. The only thing Packers have to do is just burn the clock because they have already won the game. And they probably prefer to either tack on a couple more points or just leave the score as is. Whichever one they feel like. Because this game has been that far out of reach. And by the way, Packers are gonna be in Detroit Thursday for a heavyweight showdown. And these two teams will play each other again at Week 18 for the finale. Well, as in Packers play the Vikings Week 18. There's the first down. Just a couple of knees will do it. This is pretty much how the game ends. Just a wonderful way to go out. And yeah, that'll do it for this game here. That's it. Pretty normal division game, right? Seriously though, Vikings have been struggling so much this season, it's not even funny. But the Packers get it done at home, like I figured. And now they're gonna jump to 7-3-1, but they still need to hope that the Bears blow it in order to take the division lead. But that's a story for another video because that is how this game will come to an end. And it absolutely did not backfire on anybody whatsoever. Absolutely did not ruin anything for anybody at all. Nope, certainly didn't. But thank you all so much for tuning in to this game, and I'll see you all next time. And until that next time comes around, be sure to travel safely. And of course, if you're celebrating in the holidays this week, have your happy holidays.